if you see, Tanya sold a pen for rupees 120, means I have a final value, selling price, and earn a profit of 20%. I have an increment of 20%. What, and we know increment we find of what? Of the cost price, always the original value. What is the cost price of the pen? That's all. So original value I do not know. I know increment is given 20% increment. I have the final value 120. Correct, no? That's all. Okay, I can use the methodical approach, multiplying factor concept. I told you how many times? 1.2 times. Correct, no? Increment. 1.2 times of what? Of the initial value x equals 120. So x must be 120 divided by 1.2. How much will get? Will I get 100? Correct, no? My answer is 100. Makes sense? Now, there is one small trick. If you understand trick, then I can go ahead with the other example. See, the trick says that if you are, I'm just taking a red, green color. The wonderful trick for this kind of question, if I'm increasing by some fraction, let's say I'm increasing by x upon y, right? While coming back, I had to decrease it, no? Let's say I am increasing from x to 120 by 20%, right? I'm coming here to here by, what is the increment? 20%. I must decrease it back, right? To go back, let's say 120, I want to make it x again, which means if increment is given, I should decrease it. So I must decrease it by, the trick says that y plus x, always, always. Right? Let's look at this example here. How much increment in terms of fraction? 20%, no? 20%, how much increment then? The x to 120 is increment. How much increment? Increment here is 20%, which means 1 by 5. 20%, 20 by 100, which means 1 by 5. I must decrease it back. I want to get the value of x, no? So I must decrease it back. How much? I should decrease it back 1 by 5 plus 1, which means I must decrease it by 1 by 6. 1 by 6 of what? 1 by 6 of original value. While decreasing, what is my original value? 120. While increasing, what was my original value? X. Right? So decreasing 1 by 6. So 1 by 6 of 120. How much I am decreasing here, everybody? 20 rupees. Right? So minus 20. So 120 minus 20, I'll get my answer, that is x equals 100. Understood? So this is the one special properties and the expressions very, very important to understand, and this helps a lot. This is called CPR. CPR means the constant product ratio. Constant product ratio. I'll explain later in the other chapter when we discuss about this. So what happens in CPR? What happens here? If I'm increasing by something, let's say I'm increasing by any number, I'm increasing any number by 2 by 5, I must decrease it back by what fraction? 2 by 5 plus 2, right? If I am increasing a number by 3 by 5, I must decrease it back by the same, I must decrease it back to get the same number by 3 upon 5 plus 3. Make sense? So while increasing, the lower value will be the higher value. Make sense? While decreasing, see, lower value will be the original value while increasing. While decreasing, of course, the higher value is the original value. So in this question, while increasing, x is the original value. While decreasing, 120 is the original value. So that's why I wrote it here. I told you always increment and decrement should always be calculated of the original value. So 1 by 6 decrement, because increment is given 1 by 5. Decrement must be 1 by 6 of what? Of the original value 120. So 20 rupees decrement. So subtract 120 20 rupees out of 120. I'll get my answer back. That is 100 rupees. Right? I hope that makes very simple and you understand well this concept.